Alright, final video for today. Varcarian and I have been sitting here all day making videos for you guys to check out. In this video, we thought we just wanted to show off some of the Breach Lords, or some gameplay of the Breach Lords with Varcarian's really budget-friendly Uberlab farmer build. And Varcarian has made a few changes to this build since we played, or since we recorded the last video. And Varcarian is just going to go over his build again here, explain it to you, and why it is a budget build and why it is something you should potentially try and check out for yourself. So Varcarian, what are we playing here?
So here we're playing a Slate Vortex.
Slate Vortex, that's a good...
yeah, let's call it that, Slate Vortex, that's what this build is. But it's a Slayer Blade Vortex build. And what we're doing is we're using the double obliteration wands, as we can see here, which it basically makes so we convert or we gain some of our physical as chaos damage, and we do a lot of explosions. We use cherubims for more leech, more chaos damage, a lot of life, and especially the leech is the core idea of this build. When we explode stuff, we basically leech so much damage from that over explosion that through our ascendancies that we can just run through pretty much any content. Just as a quick note, the toll breach we did in this video was, for example, one-handed. I did not touch the keyboard until we got to the boss, which was
he had his hand on his dick
completely. I was just
all through the
having
video.
fun.
Yeah, it
was
was
so
disgusting. Good. He's using my keyboard. No, he's actually not.
but yeah, so that's basically the build. Some additions I've made is we've added Ming's Heart, reduces our life a little bit, but also adds a lot of damage. Late game, you can do that for even more funsies. Since Rebirth is the most expensive part of this build, also optional to use anything else more or less. You can use a normal Stip Knight. Of course, that reduces your damage by a margin as well, but that's pretty much it. Other than that, it's we use Worm Sign for some fun interaction with Rampage, again just to run faster in most cases. So yeah, that's the core idea of the builds. We're a poison-based build that uses Blade Vortex to do the majority of our damage.
And the whole premise of this is that it is so budget-friendly. What is to get started and do Uber Labs, and maybe even if these guys carry over to the next leagues, what kind of budget are we looking at to just do that?
Like at the beginning of the league, the obliteration ones with good rolls go for about 2 KS each, and the same with the cherubims, also about 2 KS each. Of course, you want to 5-link it, that costs a little bit to get going. If you're lucky, you can do it quite fast though. And that's all that's really required to get the Uberlab started. So along those lines, we're talking with the Ming's Heart and everything. Early game even, I'd say we are below 20 KS.
20 KS.
Especially if you find some of the rares yourself, right? So with the rares, you might add up a little bit of currency here and there.
And then of course you can add that 6-link sexiness if you want to, but it's completely optional, and the Sin's Rebirth Flask.
Exactly.
So yeah, don't worry about that when you see it in this gameplay. It's absolutely not needed. So what we have here is a really good, well-balanced build. What's the highest, or what have you been able to kill with this yet? And what do you think it can?
Like so far, I've cleared all the way up to tier 15s with this build. That was in 2.4 though. In 2.5 you can still do it, but the reduction to the lead from Warlord's Mark and stuff like this makes you a lot more reliant on your flasks. So it is a bit harder now. You can't tank as much as you could before, but it's still very doable. You have to be a bit careful with the mods you roll, as we're quite vulnerable to volatiles. Since we're close to them, we don't have a big life pool to tank them. So in some somewhat rippy map mods, you will kill yourself to volatiles. So in hardcore, I'd be wary about that. I've leveled this to 89 last league on hardcore, so it's definitely possible, and could still do the same here, no doubt about that, for sure.
Excellent. So you have a build guide for this on the forums, right?
Exactly.
So if you guys want to check this out, click the link below in the description, and you will update this for 2.62, right?
Exactly. This is the one build I'm always starting my leagues with from now on, I'm pretty sure, because it's so cheap, and it really does. Uberlab farming is so great in the beginning, so all the currency you need to make some fun new builds can just be generated in that early league from this build, more or less. Yeah. It is a bit to level, since you want to go Blade Vortex early on even, because it's so nice, but you're a Slayer, so you have 0 access to any spell-based gems, so I would recommend to get some contacts with a friend or someone who can provide you with the gems you need.
Force your girlfriend to play like a caster, and
exactly.
She can give you the gems. Then.
She's making food anyway. She can just do it. Right,
We're cutting that out.
But yeah, that's the core idea at least. So the leveling, you can also just level as melee. We do go past some physical nodes, and we're also just scaling through physical damage. So more or less, so you can do that as well, and just respec a bit in the end. But
yeah, I'll be doing something very similar to this next league, I think. I want to try it as an occultist and try that out. Not necessarily because I think it's better, but just, the core idea is really fucking solid and I want to try it on that.
Yeah.
So check out the guide below, guys, if you are interested in a very, very budget-friendly build that can do most of the content in the game. Thank you for joining me again. I've said that 3 times today, I think now. It's just getting awkward, guys.
Oh, yeah. We're joining each other so much today.
Thank you for watching, and bros, do you even nerd?